Welcome to round 2 of Being Human. Today we're going to be talking about addictions and discipline. And the wonderful thing about these two things is they do have relation and they can balance each other out. But first of all, we must become self-aware of addiction and what our addictions are, so we can then have self-control over these addictions. So I would say to you, start your day doing all the wonderful practices that we spoke about in round 1, and become self-aware of what your addictions are, whether it's waking up and drinking coffee or caffeine or tea, and maybe getting some balance within this, because you don't really need these things. We don't need these things within our brain. As much as we become reliant and dependent on them, they are okay to enjoy from time to time, but to take abuse of the indulgences will actually end up abusing ourselves, and they will be in control and we become a slave to these things. So first we need to understand what these addictions are, so we can then become self-controllable. I would say understand what it is you do throughout your day that you have addictions with. Learn and think about the patterns and behaviors and things that you rely on, whether it's watching television, drinking alcohol, having substances. This could not just be daily, but it could be, weekly or monthly. But understand what your addictions are, so we can get into an understanding of the self-control, so we can become better for it. So we can then use these better habits to have better control and better ourselves. An example I can give you is I was drinking sparkling water every single day, and sometimes I do drink sparkling water every single day. And as much as it is water, I find it can be very addictive. So I practiced not drinking sparkling water and just drinking normal water throughout the day. And on the weekend, I did my best to keep myself all the way till about Friday, Saturday, and then I would indulge on these things. And I would go to a bar. Instead of drinking alcohol, I would literally drink like a sparkling water or a lime soda, and I would really enjoy it, and I would really appreciate it because I'm not indulging on it. Another example of this is foods and flavors. We do so much to say, I need to eat food, I need to have breakfast, I need to have lunch, I need to have dinner. Well, the human body can actually survive 30, 40 days without food. So to actually understand what your addictions are, we can then become control of them. So, intermittent fasting being a very good practice, or even fasting alone, be able to fast this for 2 to 3, 4, 5 days is a wonderful thing. And we can then obviously become a little bit more in control of what we do consume, so we can enjoy them. So what I would even practice myself is, and what I do practice sometimes, is just eating once a day. And then that one meal that we can have throughout the day can be even more enjoyable, because we're not overindulging and we're not consuming again and again and again. We're just enjoying that one thing throughout the day. So it's a very good thing to just be in self-control and then understand, what your addictions are. The food being one very, very relatable thing. What I did is I practiced that not eating throughout the whole day, and then the meal that I did have was something really enjoyable. I ended up cooking myself a nice lobster tail. So I cut it up, I put some garlic in there. Well, first I boiled it, then put it in the oven with some garlic and butter. And I really enjoyed that. Not just because I was hungry or wanted to eat, because it was a meal that I was going to eat, and every single moment of it was just very joyful. Instead of eating so many things throughout the day and then coming down to dinner and I need this and that has to taste good and that has to taste good and let me put spices and flavors and that. Just that one thing in the day that I enjoyed, just having the basic flavors of just garlic and butter, was really enjoyable without having to have in 100 herbs and spices and overload it with flavors just to be enjoyable. We can just cut these smaller things down, and then when we do that, we have a little bit more control over ourselves. Another habit is alcohol. A lot of people use alcohol for different things. One of the main reasons is escaping reality. Most people drink alcohol or overconsume alcohol because they are not in 100% control of their reality. So they use alcohol to escape their reality, to become intoxicated so they can escape, or even other substances to escape because they're not happy within their reality. And the best thing to do in that situation is to understand your addictions and understand what it is and the reasons why we do these things. So if you can understand that your addiction could be due to wanting to escape your reality, then the idea is to change your reality, to make it better. So then you don't need to escape. So you don't need to run away or hide or drink to flee the environment you're in or the situation that we've got ourselves in. It's better to change the situation, to better it for ourselves and the ones around us, for our loved ones and for our children and for our relatives and for our friends, for everyone around us, and people who even look to us for an example and for guidance. And the best thing about discipline is discipline actually allows us to have more control over our bodies and over our lifestyles. So instead of indulging so much, changing the way you live to have discipline in your life so you can do things better and live better. For example, exercise is a wonderful discipline. Whether you're exercising, doing bodyweight exercises, if you're doing bodybuilding exercises, weight training, if you're running or swimming or carrying out some martial arts or self-defense, having those disciplines in your life allows you to get in control and have a better grounding of what you can do for your body and what you can actually do for your state of mind. And then continuing those disciplines and staying strong to them will only do not anything but benefit your life and allow you to better the situation you're in, because you have self-control. And within these things, like for example martial arts or training, there are lessons within that. Martial arts provides a wonderful set of lessons and lots of theory to go with the actual physical training and practical training that you're doing. So I'm not advising everyone to go out and learn boxing straight away, but learn some sort of discipline, or have some sort of discipline, or gain some sort of discipline in your life, so you can have a better discipline for the rest of your life, for the other things around your life. For example, the food, the alcohol, the television, the social media. If once we're in a better control and understanding of these things, like for example scrolling on our phones, inevitably just trying to release endorphins to get some kind of fix, well, what will end up happening is we become too addicted to these endorphins being released, or watching certain things on your phone, allowing those endorphins to be released and then becoming addicted and becoming reliant upon these endorphins to be released by these addictions. Once we're in control of and having self-control of our endorphins and removing these addictions and creating good disciplines that will allow us to release these endorphins. For example, running releases endorphins, exercise releases endorphins, and these good endorphins are positive for your brain. Another thing that can cause this is nutrient deficiency. Nutrient deficiency can come from obviously consuming too much alcohol, or consuming too much of a substance, or consuming too much of a food will actually kick out certain nutrients from your body. So it's understanding what substances will actually kick out certain nutrients and vitamins that are actually very vital for your body. For example, guys, going back again to alcohol creates a B3 deficiency within the body. From my understanding, the more alcohol you consume, the more your body craves B3, which actually becomes the addictive part of the alcohol. It's your body craving B3. However, the brain thinks that, okay, if I consume more alcohol, I'm going to replenish that nutrient that's being kicked out, but it actually kicks out more of the nutrient, causing more addiction. So if you can understand that your addiction may lie in nutrient deficiency, then it would be best to replenish these nutrients and allow the body to become stronger and non-reliant on substances to feed itself and to feed certain cravings. Parasites cause cravings for sugar. Sugar is one of the most addictive substances in the world. And if we can understand what these substances are and what our body is actually doing when it's craving them, and what the parasites do to the body when it's craving sugar, we can understand how to better ourselves, whether it's cleansing our body, cleansing the system from these things, learning to grow better habits, for example, eating better foods. Beetroot is a wonderful thing, and it can be contradicted and argued whether beetroot is good for you or not, but I found beetroot to be a very, very good discipline, and consuming that beetroot almost on a daily basis can be very beneficial for myself. I'm not recommending it for anyone and everyone, but I know for myself that when I consume the beetroot every single day, I feel that it's replacing certain nutrients in my body. It could be psychological, it could be physical. However, I do understand, and I do have a good discipline, that this this vegetable or fruit, whatever it is, can have good positive benefits to my body. So I've learned to discipline myself to put that in every day, to put stuff like eggs and meat. If you don't eat meat, if you're a vegetarian or a vegan, that's fine, but it's good to put certain nutrients inside of your body. And if you don't, then maybe have an understanding of what nutrients to put inside of your body. For example, B3, D3, K2, magnesium or zinc if you're a man, to replenish nutrients and hormones in your body. That's very positive stuff. So I'm not a doctor and I'm not giving medical advice. However, there are positive benefits to replacing nutrients in the body. Sea moss is another one. If you replace these nutrients in your body, it can actually help with the addictions and help to control these things in your body. And then we can push good discipline, for example, exercising, to have a better lifestyle and to even think and feel better on a daily basis. And when we do this, we'll end up having better self-control and better understanding of ourselves and of our bodies. So I would really advise everyone to push your body and push your mind to be in control of these addictions, and to push for better disciplines and better daily habits. And this will always benefit you in so many ways. It will benefit you from getting into yourself into bad or worse habits, or into bad living conditions, and it will allow us to live longer and live better by obviously looking after ourselves and looking after the body, because another example is, we remember to wash our bodies on the outside, remember to shower every day, but do we remember to clean our mind and to clean our internal side, cleansing and detoxes, meditation being the cleanse of the mind. And then obviously the internal body having the cleansing and the detoxing and the nutrient replenishment. So it's obviously we remember to clean the outside because we can physically see the outside, but we have to remember to clean the inside of our bodies and our minds as well, because these are parts of this is a part of us. This is all of us: the mind, the body, the soul, the external side of the body. If you saw a rash coming up, or if you had blemishes on your skin, you'd think to do something about it, because when you looked in the mirror or looked to yourself, you would notice these things. However, sometimes things that aren't on the surface aren't that noticeable unless you become self-aware. And having that self-awareness allows us to have self-control. Self-control, having better habits, will allow us to live a better lifestyle and live longer and live better for the ones around us. And we can then enjoy the things that are around us, because we're not too focused on these addictions and these negative things that are in our life. We can focus on discipline and having better opportunities and better days and better conversations, better relationships, because we're not too focused on the addictions and the indulgences of the day. So please do your best to find some self-control and find some self-awareness. Obviously, I understand we're not going to be able to all become monks and eat rice and mung beans for the rest of our lives. There are things, sweet things, that we do wish to enjoy, and that's not a bad thing. We were put on this planet to enjoy the fruits, so maybe just enjoy the fruits. But anyway, God blessings to you all, and please bear in mind, great thoughts have great words, which have great actions, and will follow up with great outcomes. Remember to let it go, and what is now does not matter, as it has already passed. And to understand that saying again, this moment has now passed. That was then, so it doesn't even matter anymore. And we think about the future, and if you focus on the future, that passes, because that moment will come and it will pass. So nothing matters but love and God. God blessing.